I need to give you a little history about me. About 9 years ago now, I was meditating on my deck and I had this reverse financial system downloaded into my mind. I have been working for 9 years on it and how to bring this system forward to the world, and I am now at the launching phase. It was really funny that when I started, there was no way the world was ready for this philosophy. But 9 years later, and how the 1% are attempting to destroy our world and plunge us into ecological, economic, and global collapse, I think that the 99% of us are ready for change. We are now seeing all the corruption of the 1% and how very little they don't care about us or the world or future generations for that matter. And this kind of thinking has to be rejected by the masses because it is not sustainable or humane. My system is huge and complex and intertwined. The Global Grain Democracy Initiative is not a novel. It is a thesis or an instruction manual on how we can save our world for our kids and future generations. And there's a lot of information, but the world is a big place, and only big changes will bring about enough positive global changes to heal what the 1% has committed and continue to commit against our shared earth. It is so crazy that in the year 2025, we are watching the 1% try to force the largest democratic democracy with the largest military to its knees and rebuild it in an autocratic dictatorship, thereby changing global alliances. They have passed legislation that has reduced women and girls' lives to less than clumps of cells, letting them die instead of giving them a simple procedure to prevent disability, infertility, and death, much less taking their God-given right of choice away. And it is time to take our power back, time to value all lives, and time to build a world where we and our children can be proud of. I tried to put this 7 or 8D model that I have in my mind into a teachable tool, starting with my Bristol boards on my blackboard to the hanging string model in my craft room. I then hired Kirsten Mosley from For Users' Sake to help me design my download into a computer model. This took a few years to finally get all the parts into the program, which she had to do research because she was not sure that there was a program that could do my system that I was asking her to build. Once the computer model was built, I was able to do my first 3D prototype of it, to later build the one that I currently have and use in my demonstrations. It was at that point I finally came to the conclusion that I knew from the beginning was that I actually had to write a textbook or an instruction manual on how to save our world. My next stage was coming to terms that I had to learn a whole new set of skills through training, how to work the computer. I am not of the computer generation. I am from the generation of Encyclopedia Britannica and libraries as your only source of information access. Anyways, my computer skills were horrible. For example, when I would go to download an app and it would ask if I was sure, I would click no. Anyways, so to say my skills were poor was to say the least. Don't get me wrong, I knew the hospital charting, but that does not transfer into podcast skills. I took a podcast course for content creators. I had all my components, but where do I go from here? The course helped me to become more comfortable with everything and how to set up my social media presence and why. I couldn't have done this thing without some form of training. Kirsten had connected me with Nadine, and in the beginning videos, she was the one interviewing me and doing all the editing. I had been out of the typical work field for over 3 years to get this system to where it is, and I was still perplexed on how to get the system out without depending on someone to do all my editing and help with the recording, setup, and over time this would have caused me more financial hardship. So when Nadine told me that I could learn to do it myself, I let her know that I had already been starting. So when I said that I am still learning while I am teaching is an understatement, and it is only me doing all of the work, so it takes lots of time. Now that my website is launched, I also have an online store to purchase the ebook at a discounted price that I couldn't offer anywhere else. And this is what we are going to talk about in this video. It will also have other knickknacks such as stickers and hopefully some clothes, but I'm definitely not there yet. I will keep you posted on that and the time frame. And while I am doing this, I also have started the other volumes that are related to the icons, which are currently being designed by a young art grad. He will also be helping me design the chips for the partnership and sponsorship levels that I will be introducing once they are ready. There will be 15 more volumes to go through the system to fully explain it, and these ebooks will be available as soon as I can draft them up. This will be the deepest dive into the actual attachments within the programs and the system. So I'm still building the tools, but I don't think our world has any more time for me to get everything completed before I launch. Through the sales of my ebooks and textbooks, it will enable me to pay my bills and hire people to help me reach my goal faster. and this will give us hope for all. I was not happy with the options that Amazon gave, so Kirsten helped me with 3 options for buyers to decide on. I am reaching out now to let you all enter my brain and see the hope I see, and I can't do this by myself. I need people to like, follow, comment, subscribe, and spread the word that there is an alternative to our current global nightmare. I have also come to the conclusion that this site cannot only be about learning, but it will need to bring you into my life so that you will see that this system has no ill intentions in it. It is to make our system accountable to everyone, even those not born yet. That we understand that we have lost sight of community and connection to our Mother Earth, and that because of this, we have lost a part of our own humanity, and it will only be when we realize we need each other healthy and happy to build the best world for all that we will finally make the uncomfortable decision to make a change to fix the mess our world is in, and base our new world on fairness, equality, and equity, strengthening democracies and human rights. I'm going to be recording small videos on recent news that will be impacted by my system, meaning identifying what the problem is and how the GGDI will fix it and be the solution. I am working on learning more about email marketing, Reddit, and Substack. Who would have thought I would be doing all these things even a year ago, but the time of sharing knowledge is now, before our world is pushed beyond its brink. So please be patient. I'm trying my best, and now that I have a bit of a rhythm with the videos, and I'm trying to get ahead of myself for posting, I will soon be able to work on the others. So there is still much to come. With all the 1%ers owning our social media platforms and working to maintain their power structure over the 99% through spreading lies, hate, and propaganda, I have decided to focus on Substack. I am going to focus on my @Sammy71Earth YouTube and Substack. That will have all of the programming because this is where I narrate the whole system for it to be easier to understand. The reason for this is that I'm going to migrate my system to Substack, where I can stop supporting the rich who are deliberately destroying our world for their greed and egos. What is going on now is the rich at one time were okay if we had a small middle class, but now they want everything. And they want the 99% of us to kneel before them and beg for scraps, and this is not a world I am willing to support or leave my children. The days of this form of capitalism is done. We, the 99%, understand the agenda, that if we continue to live in this greedy world, we will all perish. But if we change the world to a worker, human, and earth-focused system, where we are building a world where everyone succeeds, then we will stop the deliberate destruction of our world, humanity, and all living life forms on her.